going to continue this series of what we're learning about what to do on different chagim and festivals. We've already spoken about Tishrei B'Av already, and now we're talking about Yom Kippur. I'm using excellent notes actually from the OU website from Rabbi Yonatan Nakson, where we're talking about in today's session what is a halacha according to the Sephardic practice on the prohibitions of the festival of Yom Kippur, respectively. And there's some really excellent notes over here. I remember in detail we explored the laws about Tishrei B'Av, that was and the 9 days and 3 weeks itself, respectively. And now we are covering Yom Kippur. So first topic in of itself is the prohibition of eating and drinking on Yom Kippur. We're going to look at some of the main highlights of some of the laws that's written down in this brilliant article. So the first one is, one who eats on Yom Kippur is liable to the punishment of karet. Very severe. This prohibition includes all types of food and drinks. So just start off that Chazon Avadi in Yamim Noraim, page 274, would actually speak about it, and there's various other sources which is brought down. Number 2, even eating a little bit is prohibited. However, one is liable to this punishment of karet only if he eats the equivalent of a large date, kedei achilat pras, in the amount of time that it takes to eat a portion of bread. Okay, so that's very interesting. Number 3, even when eating 2 different types of foods at once, if they add up to the amount of large date, let's say, one is also liable to karet. Very severe over here. That's Shulchan Aruch, I think, in 612, number 2, actually brings that down. It's forbidden to eat a food that is generally not eaten, such as spoiled or very bitter food. Another thing that we can bring out, one may not taste anything on Yom Kippur, even if he will spit it out immediately afterwards. So one might have maybe thought that that's not eating, but however, over here, it is seen very severe. And Shulchan Aruch in 567, number 1, brings that down. One may not chew gum on Yom Kippur, even if it's already lost its taste. That's another, I think, brought down in the Torat Moadim Yomim Noraim, page 215. If one accidentally recited a bracha on food or drink and then realized that it's Yom Kippur, he should not eat or even taste the food. So still the bracha, the blessing itself, will seemingly be null and void. 8, one should not touch food on Yom Kippur. Wow, so this stringency, because you might not eat it. However, if one has a child who needs to be fed, he may give the child food to eat. So in that specific case scenario, you'd be able to give. One may swallow his spittle in Yom Kippur and does not need to spit it out. So not the most pleasant thing to talk about, but that is the law over there. In fact, who brings this down? I think it's brought down in the Magen Avraham, if I'm not mistaken. The Ben Ish Chai also brings that down in Parshat Vayelech. And now, one may not even drink even a bit of any beverage on Yom Kippur. One who drinks a cheekful, which obviously depends on the size of the person, is liable to karet. Wow. Similarly, if one drank a few sips within the time it takes to drink a reviet, and those sips combine together to form a reviet, one is going to be liable for this punishment of karet. Now, what about smelling foods and spices? What's it in? Number 11, one may smell snuff, like the smelling tobacco, on Yom Kippur. So that is going to be allowed. I think that is brought down actually from Yalkut Yosef, Yomim Noraim, page 686. One should try to smell spices, besamim, on Yom Kippur to reach 100 brachot. So seemingly it's okay to smell spices. One may also smell good smelling fruits in order to recite the bracha on the smell. So that's very important also. Preferably, one should only recite a bracha on a perfume that has a natural smell and not on one that has a synthetic smell. However, if one cannot attain a natural smelling perfume, let's say one may recite a bracha, a blessing, on the smell from a synthetic perfume. About washing and bathing, I think we know the answer here. So it's prohibited to bathe or wash oneself for pleasure on Yom Kippur, regardless of whether the water is hot or cold. Even dipping one's finger for pleasure is going to be prohibited. However, if one is particularly dirty, such as from bloody nose, he may wash only the dirty places over here. Now, the source for this is Shulchan Aruch 613, number 1 over there, and Or Letzion brings that down in volume number 4. Now, when arising on Yom Kippur, one should wash Netilat Yadayim, but only until the knuckles, at the ends of the fingers, naturally, we know. Similarly, when washing one's hands, after leaving the bathroom or before praying, one should only wash until his knuckles, but may wash each hand 3 times as usual. One who is sick and is unable to fast on Yom Kippur may wash his hands to the wrists to eat bread. However, if one is eating less than a kazait, he should not wash netilat yadayim. So I bring the source for that over here, which is written this all on this article. Chazon Avadia Yamam Naraim, page 308. Also, Yal Kutisef, I think, adds that if one is only permitted to eat less than a kazait at a time, then he does not recite the blessing of netilat yadayim. That's what's brought down there. Also, I think the Torah Moadim and the Yom Naraim, page 266. Also, Ord Letzion in volume 4 will bring that down. Okay. The next one now. A woman within the first 30 days of marriage may wash her face on Yom Kippur in order to look presentable to the new husband. So how important Shalom Bayit is. Number 19. I'll just say the source of that over there. That source is Shulchan Aruch 61310. Okay, one may not immerse in the mikveh on Yom Kippur, even if the water is cold over here. So that's interesting. Now, applying ointments. What's going to be the law within regards to applying ointments over here, friends? One is not permitted to apply creams or oils for pleasure, even on a small part of one's body. However, a person who has an illness on his scalp or skin may apply oil in the usual way. Now, another thing, one may spray deodorant on Yom Kippur, even if he's excessively sweaty, or if he smells when he sweats to the extent that it's difficult, let's just say, for him to concentrate properly. In such case, he may only use a spray and only spray it on his skin, obviously not on his clothing. That's what brought down over here. Number 22, it's prohibited to spray perfume, even on one's hand on Yom Kippur. Over here, that source for that, this last one I just said, is the Shemesh Umagen, volume 3, 56 too. And I think there's other sources also. One can wear perfume before Yom Kippur, even though it will remain on one's body on Yom Kippur. Okay, now wearing leather shoes. Are you allowed to wear it or not? I think we all know the answer. One may not wear shoes that are made of leather or have leather on them on Yom Kippur. Shoes that are made of wood, cloth, or rubber are allowed even if they are comfortable a bit. Okay, one may stand and sit on leather pillows, so that is going to be allowed over here. The source for that is... There actually is Rama 614, number 2, and Chazon Avadi brings it down. However, one should not stand on a leather pillow when praying. So, to stand on it is going to be a problem over here. Okay, one who is sick or woman within 30 days of childbirth is allowed to wear leather shoes for health reasons on Yom Kippur. So, the source of it is Shulchan Aruch 614, number 3, over there. And even though, let's say, okay, if it is raining outside and one does not have proper non-leather shoes to wear, he may wear his leather shoes to the synagogue and then immediately remove them when he arrives. So just till the synagogue, and then he has to remove it. That's Ramah in 614, number 5. Okay, leather shoes are not muksa on Yom Kippur and may be moved around. Another thing, even though one does not wear leather shoes on Yom Kippur, the bracha of She Asa Li Kol Sarki should still be recited during Birkot HaShachar. Okay. What's the conduct, the code of conduct between a husband and wife on Yom Kippur? First one to say over here, number 30, marital relations are forbidden on Yom Kippur. One may not sleep in the same bed as one's spouse, even when clothed. This applies both during the night and the day. That's very interesting. So some people might be surprised by that. That's Shulchan Aruch in 615, number 1. Halacha 1, that a man may not touch his wife, and it's praiseworthy to act with the same precautions as when she is a nida. However, if he needs, let's say, to pass his wife something and cannot do it in another fashion, he may do so, however, preferably only during the daytime. Now, children on Yom Kippur, what's the dinim with regards to that? Any child under the age of 13 does not have to fast. However, a child should try not to wear leather shoes. If the weather is cold, let's say, and one is afraid that the child might become sick, if he does not wear leather shoes, then he may wear the leather shoes. It's a child we're talking about, someone under bar mitzvah. Shulchan Aruch 616, number 1, brings that down, and there's other commentators also, which is very interesting. A child, male or female, who is below 9 years old, should not fast at all, even for a few hours. Wow. Therefore, one should make sure that his children are fed before going to synagogue. One may even give the child food directly, and the food is not considered muksa over here. So that's what's written over here. Number 34, a child who turns 9 years old One should educate him to refrain from eating for an hour or two past the time that he would normally eat breakfast, let's say. However, one must make sure to keep a watchful eye on the child to ensure that he does not become weak and faint, because we want to avoid that situation, obviously. Similarly, if the child needs a drink in the middle of the night, one may give him one if the child is thirsty. Okay, next one. When a boy or girl turns 11 years old, he or she may fast the whole day, provided he or she is still physically fit. However, if one is unsure whether the child can fast, then a boy who is 10 and a girl who is 11 should try to fast until Chatzot. So that's very interesting, friends. Okay, now more things we can bring on over here. Once a boy turns 13 and a girl turns 12, he or she is obligated to fast the entire day. Number 37, one may wash and clean a baby on Yom Kippur. That's going to be allowed. An ill person on Yom Kippur. Let's look at that specific scenario over here. Okay. If a doctor says that a person will damage himself by fasting on Yom Kippur, and it may result in a critical situation, then one is not allowed to fast over here. Very interesting. Even if the ill person who claims that he does not need to eat, he should still be fed. Furthermore, let's say, if an ill person says that he needs to eat, even if the doctors say that he does not need to, one should feed the ill person in small amounts. Okay, one who must eat on Yom Kippur because of, let's say, illness, or a woman who is within the first 3 days after childbirth should only eat a minimal amount of food at a time. So it's going to be a certain increment. The amount described as a large date, which is essentially 30 grams of food. After eating the first 30 grams, one should wait, let's say, approximately 9 minutes before eating another 30 grams. When drinking, one may drink less than a cheekful at a time. Obviously, it's subject to the size of the person. A regular person's cheekful is about 40 milliliters. One should also drink at 9-minute intervals. If one needs more, then he may wait 4 to 7 minutes, which is the amount of time it takes to drink a reviet. However, let's say it is better to wait as long as one can. However, if, let's say, a doctor, once again, the doctor, what he says is crucial, says that one needs to drink or eat at more frequent intervals and in larger quantities, one may not be stringent over here. Okay, next one, number 40. One who is required to eat or drink in intervals should drink or eat things that will give him strength, such as grape juice, milk, or chocolate. So something that's going to give the energy, that's a food. Now, who brings this down? This is a source number 45. Brought down from the Shalmei Moed, I think page 307. Also, the Halichot Moed also will bring that down. Okay, the above measurement should preferably be measured before Yom Kippur. However, if one did not do so, he may weigh the food or drink on an electric scale on Yom Kippur itself. Even if a sick person can be fed through a feeding tube straight into his stomach, it's better for him to eat normally the way described, especially if the doctor will have to make an inclusion to insert the tube. Sorry, I'm just recording this quite late over here. Now, number 43, one who does not have, let's say, a potentially life-threatening illness may not eat or drink even the, let's say, the minimum amount over here. If one was permitted to eat because of illness and feels better after eating little, he may no longer, let's say, continue eating and must fast for the remainder of the day. So it's interesting. So if you had to eat earlier on, it doesn't spare you like a fast later if you don't need to eat now. One who is ill and needs to eat on Yom Kippur does not have to recite Kiddush, even if Yom Kippur is on Shabbat. Over here, let's say if a sick person, number 46, needs to eat bread, he should wash his hands as he would on a regular day and recite Birkat Hamazon when he is finished, provided that he ate kazayit within 9 minutes. During Birkat Hamazon, he should recite Ya'aleh V'Yavo and say Yom Kippurim Azeh Yom Sichat Avon Azeh. Wow, that's interesting. If one forgot to recite Ya'aleh V'Yavo, he does not have to repeat Birkat Hamazon over here. Let's hope we're all healthy and we don't have to do something like this. Number 47, one who needs to swallow medication in Yom Kippur should do so without water. However, if the pills have a tasty coating, one should only swallow them wrapped in a thin paper or with bitter tasting water, such as water mixed with green tea or soap. However, if one needs to take his medication and is potentially life-threatening not to, he may do so even with water. He should try to only drink a minimal amount. If one can take the pills as, let's say, a suppository, indeed, he should preferably do so. Okay, friends, number 48. One who suffers from asthma may use his inhaler on Yom Kippur. This is not considered eating or drinking. One who is ill and must eat increments on Yom Kippur should not go to the synagogue if it will make him, let's say, weaker, and he will thus have to eat more than a kasait at a time. So how important is to fast over here? Now, the next topic here, we're talking about pregnancy over here. Pregnant women, postpartum, and nursing women. Number 52. Pregnant and nursing women must fast on Yom Kippur. If one has a doubt whether a woman or her fetus can be in danger by fasting, a doctor and a rabbi must be consulted before the fast for guidelines. So very important over there, automatically. Now, number 53. The proper steps to take in order to make it through the fast are the following. First one, before the fast, she should drink plenty of water. This should not be all done at once. One should drink slowly throughout the day and start even 2 days before the fast. Hydration pills, he recommends, or kali tzom, before the rest. Next thing, she should sit or remain in a bed with air conditioning on throughout the fast. Another one, she should even pray, lying or sitting down. It's better to fast than pray if praying will cause her to need to drink. Next one, number 5, she should use as little energy as possible. Number 6, she can end the fast immediately when it's over and not wait for the Zman of Rabbeinu Tam or for her husband to come home from the synagogue, let's say. So Havdalah must be recited before she breaks her fast. Now, number 7 over here, it's better to stay home on Yom Kippur and pray alone if one's wife is pregnant or ill and needs help with watching the children so that she may fast. So the husband has to be very in handy on this specific day, especially if the woman is pregnant. Okay, number 54. A woman who is within 3 days, let's say, of childbirth, exactly 72 hours, may not fast even if she claims that she feels she can. She should, however, only eat a minimal amount in each bite, as we said before. That specific code of conduct. If from after 3 days of birth until 7 days, a woman says she does not need to eat, she may fast. But if she does not say anything, then she should be given food. From after 7 days from birth, a woman has the status of a healthy person and will be obligated to fast. So now the questionable thing here is before the 7 days. Okay, a woman who experienced, God forbid, a miscarriage after 40 days of pregnancy has the same status as a woman after childbirth. Now, number 56, if a woman previously miscarried, God forbid, twice from fasting and is again pregnant now, and the doctors say that if she fasts, she risks miscarry an additional time, then she should not fast and should instead eat a minimum amount of food in each bite. Very, very interesting. Okay, number 57. A woman who is about to give birth may drink whichever beverage and however much she needs so that she should have enough fluid in her body when giving birth. Similarly, obviously, she may eat if she says she needs to. Number 58. Now, a few more halachot, then we're done. If a pregnant woman smells the food and the color of her face changes because she wants that food, one should whisper in her ear that it's Yom Kippur, and she may not eat on Yom Kippur, according to some opinions. If, let's say, her face changes color, one does not have to whisper in her ear. However, if she still wants the food, one may give her some until her craving goes. This is also the case for any person who is sick on Yom Kippur and smells the food. However, if the woman smells a food that is, let's say, not kosher, she is not permitted to eat it. Obviously, we know this. This is a footnote of number 64. So that would be the Chazon Avadia on Yomim Naraim on page 296, which is very interesting. Okay, If a pregnant woman, as I'll just repeat what I just said, if a pregnant woman smells the food and the color of her face changes because she wants food, one should whisper in her ear that it's Yom Kippur and she may not eat the food on Yom Kippur. According to some opinions, if her face changes color, one does not have to, let's say, whisper in her ear. However, if she still wants food, one may give her some until her craving goes away. This is also the case for any person who is sick on Yom Kippur and smells the food. However, if the woman smells the food, that is that is not kosher. She is not permitted to eat it. The last halakha here: a woman who is nursing should prepare some pumped milk in advance so that if she has enough milk for the baby during the fast, so she have enough enough milk over here for the baby to drink on. So, friends, I'm going to leave it over here. It's very, very late now. It's 2 a.m. nearly over here. So, wishing Gamar Chatzima Tova. I hope this is very informative from the OU website.